Yeah. Um, okay, we are getting up and just gotta make sure that the sound, I always do this with the sound. Okay, welcome everybody. So we are live and I'm like checking, make sure the systems are, you guys can all say something? Systems
Yep.
check.
Yeah, we can
Very
talk.
good. Okay, good. So, so today's a little different conversation, I think, because Lori had a good point. Yeah, we've been talking about what it is to be human, and I think it just falls in this conversation of what it is to be human. But let's talk about time management. Um, the thing about being human and time is that we think of time as the way we've artificially constructed it to seem. We have divided, so think of everything as energy, and all time is the division of energy. Like this is an era, right? This is a decade, this is a year, this is a month, this is a week, a day, an hour, a minute, a second, a nanosecond, whatever. So we've we've divided, we've spliced it up so that we can kind of have a consensus agreement on where we are in space time, right? Like what year are we in? What month are we in, right? And when we're all on the same page, it makes it easier to work as a collective. Like think about astrology. There's people that love sidereal astrology, and that has a whole different calendar system than, the Placidus, the Western astrology. So it's the East and the West look at time differently, just even with astrology. So it's interesting. But I'll open it up. Like, what do you guys think about? I mean, time management. What are your thoughts when we just? It's such a broad topic. We could go in many directions.
Yeah, I noticed sometimes people in my audience, they're like, I wanted to go to your networking event and they didn't put it on their calendar. And I can't just keep reminding them in the DMs because Facebook limited me from sending too many DMs. So I'm like,
Right.
okay, I've got to tell people this like more than once. I've got to tell them it multiple times, but not try to tell them like last minute, hey, my networking event is on now. So it will be more reminders. And like I've been very good about everything in my calendar, networking events, coffee chats, collaborations, clients, discovery calls, like everything, appointments, like time with my son, like everything goes on the calendar, vacation goes on the calendar, like time
Yeah.
off goes on the calendar. Like the things that I don't put on my calendar are like my to-do list, like all of the stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it done. Like when I feel like getting it done, especially if it's like write a post, I don't put that on my calendar because my creativity does not want to live in the time box. If there's a time box and it says be creative right now from this hour to this hour, it might be like this hour to this hour is the hour where I am staring at the blank page or I'm just like not in it.
Yeah.
Like I can be creative when I want to be creative and like really focus on doing the thing. But I find as soon as it's put on the calendar, it's like I don't want to do it anymore. But when it comes to conversations with other people, or going to meetings, it's like you have to put those on the calendar because you're meeting with somebody else and you decided this is the time you set aside to talk about like whatever this topic is or to meet new
Right.
people. So it's like, okay, I'm putting that on the calendar because I can't just have people like everybody randomly calling me because then they would start like conflicting. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
so,
Sure.
yeah. So when it
That's a
comes to
good
other people,
distinction that there's some things you put on there and there's some things that you don't. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's good. What about you, Beck?
Yeah, I'm doing really good about putting things on my calendar and looking at it several times a day. I look at it before I go to bed at night for the next morning. I look at it in the morning, look at it throughout the day just to make sure I've got everything. And I try to add to it as things come up. And so I'm doing a lot better with the calendar part of it.
That's good. Yeah, I know that, part of my work as an ADHD coach, right? There's this whole time blindness that's an element of ADHD. So a lot of my people in my family and my friends and just people around, like if you look in all my charts, I mean, the shiny object syndrome people are my people. And and I mean, because that's in me too, right? Like there's no bashing that. But part of like what happens when you get when your attention gets captured by something is that you're not aware of the time. You don't consider time. And then there's some people that time, like I was trying to explain to people one time, and I was doing this whole lesson on time management. I was like, so if you can imagine putting like, I'm gonna take a card, okay? If I put a card like right here at my eyebrow line. So when I'm looking out, like put anything right here on your forehead. When you look out, you kind of see this to the top of this. I mean, it's not the same as me looking at it, but I'm aware of it. It's like a presence, right? You just sense it. You kind of like, even if I put it just slightly up. Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not really like I mean, I can say peripherally I can see maybe a smidge of
Mm-hmm.
something here. It's more of a sensing, a feeling of something that's like right here. That's how I sense time. It's just always like, I don't see it, but I feel it almost like I could see it. It's just it's an ever present pain in my ass of like a thing that I'm aware of, even when I'm not aware. So can I run late? Yes. I'm not like, I'm not perfection about it. I used to be a 5 minute late person. Like I was always 5 to 10, 15 minutes late everywhere I went until the boss who said, you will never rank up in the leadership if you cannot be on time. And on time means that at that time you're situated and you're performing. So
Yeah.
anything you have to do before that has to be before the time others see you. And I think that was, I mean, I thought she was a real B at the time, but like, I think that did me a good, I was scared because I could have lost my job because it was like one of those things that she just had to like me or she could have gotten rid of me. So I was grateful to keep the job. And I just started being on time and I go, wow, this really is a choice. I didn't believe it was a choice. I was like, because you think in your head, you rationalize, well, this happened and I can't help it that this happened and then this happened. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
when it comes to you're about to lose your job or you show up on time, your choices get different.
Yeah. I've always been the 5 to 15 minutes early person, like my whole life. I've just always like got to be there, sitting there waiting, ready, and until about the last year. And then I guess because, my whole world turned upside down, I do find myself running just like right on time. But I set alarms. Like I use my phone not only for the
Yeah.
calendar, but I set alarms like when I know it's going to be time for me to leave to go to physical therapy or whatever it is I've got to do, or a meeting. I set my alarm to remind me like either 30 or 15 minutes or whatever, so that I've got time to get situated and
Yeah.
be ready.
But that's part of being human, right? It's like some of us sense time more keenly than others. Some of us have dedicated like Lori, you're describing a really good system that you're adhering to. And so you have to kind of find a reason why within yourself that it matters. I do think that, if we go into the real esotericness of it, like time doesn't really exist. There's only now. Like that's all there is right now. And I remember when I did one of my classes, this girl, she was blown. She was, wait a minute, what do you mean it doesn't exist? I go, well, because there's only really right now. There's not, we're making up these times like April 2nd at 3 o'clock. But like when that comes, it's going to be now. Until then, it's not now. And it kind of doesn't exist because you can't access it. You can't access it until you're in the now. And so what that means is mentally, emotionally, like let go of the things you're thinking about so that you can really be present in your now moment. And I think the big key takeaway that I wanted people to get was that you can control it a little bit by thinking of zooming in and out, right? When we zoom in and really pay attention to something, time tends to really fly by, right? We're like, wait, you look up and go, wait, what? That's 5 hours later? Have I been doing this for so long? And when you're out, when your consciousness is more spread out, time can go by really slowly. You know, and you're like, oh, I'm so bored, you know, and like you know. So the trick is to live in the expanded state and not to hyper focus on things, to live like to put that much focus into this. That's when you start to feel like you have all the time in the world. It's mental gymnastics in a way. So like you just have to play around with doing it, but it's a fun exercise. If all day, and you say those words to yourself, because remember, everything you say is the thoughts and feelings that your brain generates. So if I say all day, like, I love that I have all the time in the world to do, you know, to do this, or all the time in the world to get all the things I think are important done. I'm so grateful that I get to enjoy all this time. It goes by nice and slow. You start to, that's how you can like focus in without focusing in. See, I'm focusing in on the feeling, not the busyness of the things I'm actually having to do. So you can zoom in on the feeling, but in an expanded out state, you start to, does that make sense? Do you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah. One of the things I was thinking about when you were saying that is I've always been the rush, 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 just try to get everything done as fast as I can and just constant go, 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 go. And over the past few months, I've slowed down in the moment, even doing the same exact thing, just instead of rushing through it. Like even I found myself, you know, like putting on like moisturizer and I was like, I would be like, you know, before. And now I sit there and I just take my time and I talk to my, you know, I'm like, oh, you know, I've got all the time in the world to do this and it doesn't take any longer and you enjoy it. And you're, you know, like you're showing yourself like self-care or self-love. And it makes such a difference. And so I start my day like doing the same thing, but doing it with intention. And it just feels so much better than like, I've got to hurry up and get this done.
Exactly. Lori, were
like
you going to ask something?
Fast for so long. So it's like good to, like you said, just to like slow the time down.
It's true. See, you can do that. Yeah. That's how powerful you are.
So. Yeah, I was going to say for me, like I had to learn to structure my time becoming an entrepreneur versus just like being a stay-at-home mom. So I had to learn to add appointments in and to actually not feel like, oh my gosh, I scheduled something because like even when my son started school, like before I became an entrepreneur, it was like, okay, now I've got to get up at a certain time and I've got to like get him ready at a certain time and like anything that was at a certain time, like my whole life, it was something I tried to have as little scheduled as possible because I just hated having stuff on my calendar. I had like this dread of like things on my calendar or stuff I have to do at a certain time. There was like a certain dread around it because I would have to stop like what I was doing and I like didn't like that.
Yeah. I think that's a people that are really adverse to scheduling things. It's because they're trying to spare themselves disappointment or frustration. They're like, I feel very frustrated when I have to pull away from something. So I try to keep my schedule open so I don't experience that. But the truth is, when you start to schedule routinely and habitualize it, and you get a good transition, maybe exercise that you could do, it really actually you can get more done in less time and it's easier and you don't experience so much
stress
angst around it. Yeah, the stress, because you've got it sorted, you know, like you've got it decided. And pre-deciding when you're doing things was a huge game changer for me. I was very much like you're describing in the beginning, Lori, about like when I'm trying to live in the moment of like creation, like feeling like I wanted to create certain creative, like if I'm busy working on something, you know, creatively, um, that feels very organic. It doesn't feel like I could put it in a time box, you know. But when I started to leave sections, so I don't say I'm spending an hour on this. I just don't do that. That would be silly. But I can say, okay, I've blocked off a couple hours of time, and these are two or three things that are on my mental list of things to get to. And then I can choose in the moment of how I feel of those two or three things, and I have enough time to kind of get substantial work done. So it's kind of it's like I call it loose structure because it's not micromanaging myself. I have literally had clients who come to me where they have every 15 minutes allocated for something on their phone, like on their calendar. I'm like, they're like, I just can't do it. They're just setting themselves up for, of course you can't do it. That's not how humans work. Humans aren't robots. Oh, the clock just turned. I got 15, my next 15 minutes is this. Although I will say, when you see some of those uber productive, productive people like that, you can't think of, like I was watching the other day, Vishen, what's his face from Mind Valley. Um, and he was saying, in my morning, I spend 5 minutes on this, and then 5 minutes on this, and then 7 minutes on this, and 3 minutes on this, and 5 minutes on this. And I was like, oh, stop. I mean, that's just like, that's a hypervigilance I just am unwilling to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and it works for him. So if it works for you, there's nothing wrong with that. But if it doesn't work for you, there's nothing wrong with that. That's my take.
Yeah, we're all
So let's,
wired a little bit differently, but yeah.
yeah. So let's share real quick our number one, like, what's your productivity or time management? Like something you heard that was really cool. Do you have one?
I'm trying to think.
I've got one. I've
honestly,
got one that's,
yeah, go first.
I was gonna say I have one that's just to kind of give you guys the idea. So this one is about algorithms. You know how algorithms are based off your behaviors? They see the pattern in your behavior and then they just give you more of what you want. It's kind of like the universe. Like however you're being, that's what you get, right? So when you're online, whatever you're looking at, clicking on, then it's just going to give you more of that. So what you can do, because people get very hijacked by the notifications or something, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting because you've been customized what you're experiencing. You go spend an afternoon, like going in a few times in the day, like on a Sunday, it doesn't matter when you do it, and look up things specifically that you are very uninterested in, like zero interest in. Like if I started typing up math work, right? All the things about math. Then the next day, they're going to show me all this math and I'm going to be ignoring it because I could care less. I am allergic to math. And it's like, so you intentionally set up your algorithm to be something that will not capture you.
I should try that.
It works.
Math for me would definitely be something that I would put there because like
Math,
there's
math, math.
so many other things like I kind of have an interest in where I would like click on it and read it, but
Yeah, no, it has to be something you have zero interest in, right? That's why people talk about politics on Facebook. I'm like, I never see politics on Facebook because I have never clicked on anything about the politics on Facebook. Like, I don't, it knows me. It knows Jennie does not want to see this. She has
Yeah.
never clicked on any of this. She does not want to see it. So that doesn't send it to me. So that's how you can, like, it does work. I had a client time, she's really, I forget why, the reason why, but she was really like very uninterested in weddings. She was like, anytime she saw anything that had to do with weddings, wedding dress, wedding venues, those pictures of honeymoons or couples or anything like that, she would just like, she was like So she set up her algorithm to show only that. And she goes, it was amazing. I couldn't be bothered. Like I just kept like, I was like, nothing interrupted her date. Nothing was flashing and beaming to take her attention away. As if it was just about weddings. And she goes, I did notice it, but I noticed how much I just was like averse to it because she didn't want. It was a weird one, but yeah. So that's my hack. Okay. So back to you. Sorry. It's just like, I got one.
No, that's great. As far as Facebook, I try to look at the notifications, basically do a post and look at notifications. And I try not to do a lot of scrolling on there. I mean, I'm really pretty good at not scrolling on Facebook. It's just like, oh. So, but yeah, other than that, honestly, just having alarm set, having my calendar and knowing like it lets me know, hey, in 30 minutes this is happening. So I can kind of wind up what I'm doing and get prepared for the next thing. And then
that's good.
Just slowing down, honestly. For real, slowing down is a time hack. It's just amazing. I get more
done.
I get more done and I'm not as stressed doing it. It's crazy, but it works.
That's a good one. Lori, you got one?
Yeah, I know some people say like eat the frog first, but that never really worked for me. I find it's easier to start with the easiest task first, like the ones like, okay, this will be 5 minutes. I can get this off my to-do list, or like I'm comfortable doing it. I've done it so many times. I enjoy doing it. If I do those like easier things first, and then I kind of work my way up to the harder things, I find it's easier to do them because if I'm trying to do the hard thing first, most likely I'm sitting there just being in overwhelm or doom scrolling, and like that's not productive anyway.
So true. And there's also biological, like when we do something, anything, I don't care if it's even drinking a glass of water, like you go, oh, it's like your brain, when you touch the screen and push up, you get a hit of dopamine. Your brain gives you dopamine, and that feels good. You're like, oh. So when you do something that's the easy, fun thing first, you got the dopamine, and that dopamine can actually support you into doing the harder things later. If you're trying to do the harder thing first, I know some of those people like, do the hard things first. What they call it? The frog. Or the stones. Like look at the stones, the big rocks first, and then fill them with stones. I'm like, no, I'm with you. Get your dopamine, and then let that help create momentum for you.
And when I'm doing
so it depends on how your brain works.
When I do the big things, for me, it helps me sometimes, unless depending on what it is. But if it's, let's say it's something around the house, turning on music that I like and I enjoy, and then just being able to do it in that vibe, like okay, I'm kind of having fun while I'm doing it, and setting a timer. If it's like a big job, I'll set a timer and be like, okay, I'm only going to do this for this long, so I don't get overwhelmed, but I can stay focused until my alarm goes off.
That's a great
my alarm a lot. Or timer, whatever you call it.
No, it's all good. I love that. Yeah. Well, if you guys are watching and you have your own time hacks, put them down below in the comments. We will see them and comment back. And join us over in the Freedom Coding Facebook group so you can get the link to join us here next Tuesday. We're doing this now on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so thanks, guys. Mwah.